Hi there. If you're a professional athlete, there's a hidden secret behind why some athletes delivers an absolute best when it matters most and others don't. I've worked with Olympic level athletes using a 10-step system that unlocks what I call that extra gear, the level of performance that separates the top 1% from the others. And here's what almost no one will tell you. The secret has nothing to do with more training. It's about your subconscious conditioning. It's about the moments when you know there's more in you than what shows up. This video is about that gap. There is a part of your performance that you cannot train for, not your strength coach, not your technical coach, not your mindset coach, because it does not show up in practice. It actually shows up only under pressure. In the moment that matter most, when everything is on the line, there's a subtle internal shift. For some athletes, everything sharpens. They become fully present, instinct takes over, they execute at their highest level. And for others, something tightens just enough to cost you the race, the contract, the opportunity you've worked for years. It's a subtle difference, but it's enough that you feel it. Timing is slightly off, the decision making is a fraction slower, your body doesn't respond the way it does in training. And the frustrating part is you know you're capable of more. That gap between what you know you can do and what actually shows up in those moments, that's not a training issue. It's not a discipline issue. It's what I call subconscious interference. And until you understand how to clear it, you'll only access that extra gear randomly. So when it's a pivotal moment, you're not going to hope to perform, you're actually going to perform. I'm Dr. Janelle, and I'm going to show you the real secret most elite athletes never discover until it's too late. Here's the truth about elite performance. Your coaches, your trainers, your sports psychologists, each one is an expert in their own domain, and they build something extraordinary with you. The challenge that we have is that there's an extra piece that's missing. What I bring to you is something totally different than what you've been exposed to in the past. It's a leading edge mind body method that reaches the part of your performance that no amount of training or willpower can touch. And this is the edge that we can unlock together. Science has confirmed this for a decade. Your conscious mind, that is the part that you use to plan and visualize and strategize, relatively speaking, is roughly the size of a football. But your subconscious mind, which is there to keep you alive, is the football field. That's where your beliefs, your pattern, your nervous system responses live. They are all running automatically without your awareness beneath everything. So if there's a conflict between the conscious and the subconscious, guess which one wins every time? Yeah, the subconscious, the size of the football field, every time. And what most people are unaware of is the subconscious does not just live in your thoughts. It speaks directly through your nervous system to your body. And then for an athlete, that's the difference between winning consistently or not. That tightening in your chest before the biggest moment, the hesitation in your muscles, the hands that know what to do in practice, but all of a sudden forget in competition. This is not mental weakness. I repeat, this is not mental weakness. This is your subconscious programming running through your nervous system, expressing itself physically. I know about competition. I was a competitive rower for 17 years, and I know what it's like to put everything on the line. I was a Henley champion, Canadian Ontario champion. I won a bronze at the World Master Game. And I know what it's like to put everything on the line, like, being at the gym when all your friends are out, having a good time and training and just for the glory of it often. And then the day comes and you climb up. And I used to feel like so out of control sometimes, feeling so lonely with all these emotions I felt. And that was until I discovered the piece about the subconscious mind. The performance that I was chasing finally showed up, not because I worked harder, but because I used the subconscious work that I do for myself. So I love working with athletes. You have a special place in my heart. I'm a big softie. I love watching the Olympics. And, it takes a lot of courage. And when I see you putting everything on the line, I know what it takes. And often it makes me cry. So you cannot lie to yourself if you're an athlete. If you want to win, you cannot do this. This is why I love working with you, because the work I do is deep. If you can handle going deep, and every time you do the work with me anyway, you end up feeling better. You end up finding a big piece of the puzzle you didn't even know was there. And there's nothing scary about it, really, but this is why I love working with athletes. So something you're probably not aware of, probably not thought of, is your nervous system can treat a breakthrough like a threat. Why? Because you have what's called conditioned responses, Pavlovian responses, and a common one, I'll share one that I've seen amongst many patterns that can make us climb up, is when you're being born, you've been in the womb for, 9 months, everything is sweet, and all of a sudden you go from this blissful state to being expulsed. All hell is breaking loose. Mom is screaming. You can feel like all this is becomes part of you being. So subconsciously, you attach being from one state of being to another bigger state of being with the threat of death. So consciously winning a big championship, or you know a race or whatever, could be the thing that consciously, like the size of a football, this is what you really want. But subconsciously, when the Pavlovian bell rings, actually you feel like you're going to die. So you climb up, your body resists it. It's not going to allow you to go there. So this is what I can do with you. It's like you can go from that place of being like at 90%, knowing this extra gear, you could go this new state of being where you're consistently winning. And that's what I can help you do. It's like my work is to help you cross that threshold with nothing holding you back, to dissolve the fear response that is stored in in physiology, so you can step into that new level completely free from your conditioning. I'm Dr. Lise Janelle, and I spent 22 years as a holistic chiropractor specializing in mind-body work. I run a full-time practice, and I used to see over 8,000 patient visits a year. I had pretty good, remarkable transformation with my patients that other chiropractors were not able to get because of this special tool that I have. So since 1989, I have conducted over 126,000 one-on-one sessions, and because of that, I have access to knowledge that is based not on book knowledge or classroom knowledge, but from pattern recognition built over decades. That clinical foundation is the backbone of everything I do. So in 2003, I stepped into fully doing my coaching, peak performance coaching. I work with entrepreneurs, leaders, elite athletes. I've trained and certified other coaches in my method. I'm the co-author of the book Unstuck with Jack Canfield, and Jack has reached over 600 million readers. And this is part of the work that I love doing. And one of my deepest passion is working with athletes just like you, because athletes can't lie to themselves. Not if you want to win, because the scoreboards tells the truth. Like the level of honesty is exactly what this work requires, and you already have it. And that's why I love working with you, because every time you do it, you're going to be able to go deep and actually get the results that you want. So, because what I do is unusual and there's not many people doing this kind of work, I did some studies. I did 3 studies. One was before and after a session with me one-on-one. The other one was what happens cumulatively when you do this work over time. And the other one is a peer review study that's going to be published in Sage magazine. So what we have seen consistently, and so there was 958 participants, it was peer reviewed at less than 0.001 in the chances that this is, random. So what we found is pretty good. The anxiety reduced by 45 to 51%, the worry reduced by 49 to 52%, the hopelessness was reduced by 49 to 52%, the stress by 43%, and happiness increased by 16 to 20%. So what does that mean for you? As an athlete, if you get rid of all these stress, inducing emotions, it shows that your body is going to heal faster. You're not going to have as many injuries. The happiness will make you more motivated, your resilience will increase, and you're going to be able to have a longer, more sustainable career. The cost of this gap in your physiology is quite measurable, actually. 1 or 2 extra peak years that can be 2 million to 20 million, a full career instead of early exit that can be 2 million to 100 million more, in the bank for you. 16 to 20% increase in emotional stability does not just change how you feel, it changes how coachable you are, how marketable you are, and how long your career is going to last. I'd like to share with you some example of people who work with me. I have Larissa. Larissa was an Olympic level skier. She came to see me because she had not placed in 2 years. And when I did the work that I do with, all my clients and my athletes, I tested her and I'm ready, willing, and able to win. And you would think that somebody who's at the Olympic level wants to win, but subconsciously, we found out that when she was 7 years old, she was already winning, but her brothers were not. So her mom, not to upset her brothers, was hiding her medals and her trophies. So now Larissa had connected winning with upsetting other people. And as an athlete, your competitors, your teammates can actually feel like, siblings. And when the Pavlovian bell ring, subconsciously, you hold yourself back at the perfect wrong moment. You accelerate at the perfect wrong moment. Like we do these things not consciously, but subconsciously because it's dangerous for you at some level. So anyway, we had 2 sessions. We checked different stories like this, but this one was poignant for me because I find this as a common challenge for many athletes, like the fear of outperforming somebody else that kicks in. And she says, after she ended up on the podium, and she said, I got a lot luckier after working with Lise. Next, we have Alexandria. Alexandria came to see me because she was having a hard time winning. She was having a hard time winning at the city level, the provincial, which is like the state level. And so from working with me, we found something similar. Like when with her, she was having a hard time every time that she was competing around with someone that had more experience than her. Like she felt like there was a part of her, it was not fair to win against someone who had actually more experience. So working with her, we did all kinds of things, but I'm saying this because it's a common theme. So we went from, winning at the provincial state level to the Canadian level, and then she ended up winning at the world stage level. I'm sharing these ones because it's quite fascinating to see the patterns that are reproducible within each athlete. That once you get rid of it, you get that extra gear that makes you feel so much more comfortable. Jack, what does Jack Canfield have to do with you as an athlete? Well, Jack is been in the transformational field, maximizing people's and lives' potential for many years. And the reason he asked me to write a book about my work is because he says it's the missing link he'd been looking for in more than 50 years of doing transformational work. So we're writing a book called Unstuck, and it's pretty good. I really love it. And if you've read the books like the classics, a lot of people who are in sports, you read the classic like Think and Grow Rich or even The Secret. The missing piece for this, it's true that you need to visualize so you can attract what you want in life. But the difference is if subconsciously you have attached something dangerous for you to get that thing you want. Remember the football versus the football field. This is when it's not going to work for you. It's actually going to backfire. You're going to get the opposite results. So, what is it like to work with me? The process is clear. I like common sense, even though what I do sounds like it's a bit woo-woo. What I do is all based on common sense. So, when you come to see me, what we're going to do, we're going to create a conscious foundation. We're going to create a strong inner game because I want to help you be able to not define yourself by external factors. Like if your whole sense of worth, for example, is based on winning that medal, I find my athletes have more injuries. Like I work also with many of the athletes from the Cirque du Soleil, and this is what the pattern that we found with their team of expert working with them is that the more you put your sense of self in a certain outcome, the more likely you are to have injuries, the more stressed out you are, and the least likely you are to actually get your goal. So I create a strong, solid foundation and a strong inner game. That's what I am, an inner game coach. That won't be derived from results, but from a solid connection. Then after that, I'm going to do a subconscious scan. Um, we're going to scan and see, I'm going to test you in all kinds of different stories and like to make sure that subconsciously this is not, a scary thing for you, that you actually want this thing that, we want. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to use the heart freedom method where I'm going to dissolve the blocks. I'm not going to manage the blocks. I'm going to dissolve them from your physiology permanently. So that when you get back to your training, then you can maximize your training. But then when comes the next hinge moment where you are in competition, you arrive, you feel solid and you don't sabotage yourself. So who's this work for and who is not? Like it's not for people who are looking for another technique, a breathing method, a visualization script, or a pressure management tool. The work that I do is deep transformational work. It's for driven athletes who have done everything else, but know there's still something, an extra gear, there's something inside that kicks in when they don't want this to kick in. And that's the work I do. It's common sense, it's powerful, it's going to make you strong. And if that's you, the button below is your next step. We both know that in elite sport, your window is finite. One extra season at your peak can change your entire life. It can change your legacy. It can change your earnings forever. Every season you spend fighting your own nervous system is a season that you'll never get back. If you have a major competition coming up, or if you know you're leaving performance on the table, the time to fix it is now. Don't wait. So if this resonates with you, fill out the form. It's a short application form below. I will review it personally, and somebody will contact you within 48 hours to schedule a conversation. This is the only next step. Fill up the form below. I'm Dr. Lise Janelle. You've already achieved something extraordinary that most people will never get to achieve. Together, if you choose to, we will give you that edge that you've been looking for. And when that final piece is in place, you'll find yourself finally and consistently performing at levels you've been visualizing and working for years. Apply below and let's find what's possible for you.